Hi, here's Szymon Bochniak from Microsoft 365 at work. After the last webinar, I received from you a lot of questions. Some of them I have answered via email or on the chat, but I think at least part of them could be useful for the other audience that participate in the webinar. So today I prepared the first Q&A where I will try to answer the questions you did share with me. So again, thank you very much for your time, for the participation. Very good positive feedback from your side. I hope that next webinars will be also something that you will like. And I will go through some questions and share some my thoughts, my insights about the topics that were interested for you. And hopefully this format maybe will be also something that you will like in the future. So let's start with the first question. I turn on target release preferences on my Office 365 tenant where Viva Connections will appear on my environment. This is very difficult question because there's no good answer. Rollout of the new features could be immediately or could be step by step per environments across the globe. So in general, what I can guarantee that if you will turn on target release preferences, you will not have additional delay in rollout of new features that will be provided for Microsoft 365 tenant. It doesn't mean that you will get them immediately, like all other tenants across the globe, but it could be that German region or US West region will get some features later than Europe West region of Azure. So there's no one rule that describes that. The only thing you can do in such scenario is to wait when the features will appear on your tenant, but thanks to the target release, you will not have additional delay to get them. Standard release preferences could delay the new features to appear on your Office 365 for 3 months plus. So horrible scenario from my perspective. Highly advise you to check it out. Maybe this is something that is present on your tenant, but again, there's no good answer how fast in such case specific feature will be present on your tenant. The next question is how the extendability of Microsoft Viva will looks like. This is something that was also shortly discussed during the webinar. What I can tell you, last week Microsoft announced new version of the SharePoint framework, which delivers a lot of additional controls that could extend Viva Connections, could extend the Viva feed, Viva resources, and Viva mobile dashboard that will be present for the end users. This is the space where you can engage your developers or engage third-party companies that will deliver you the new features that will be docked to the dashboard view. And this will be something that will allow you to do that in the full code mode. So this will happening. Again, this is the first announcement about that in the new SharePoint framework. What does it mean? That there is good chance that extendability of the Microsoft Viva will be possible, but it's not yet here for all these features. So be sure that this is something that will probably evolve. Give it some time to get the mature model, because there is small risk that few things could change in time. So it's happening, it will be rolled out, it's already rolled out by Microsoft, but give it some time to get to the very mature level before you will put some investment in that area. The next question, and that was the all technical questions I get from perspective of the Viva aspects. So I will get to more out of topic questions that I get from you from perspective of the webinar. The first one is, was that the first webinar you did presented? It was not my first one webinar. In the previous organization, I was working in the position where I organized the multiple webinars with my colleagues to deliver using a little different technology to deliver some knowledge sharing with the customers, with the audience. So I had some experience in doing that kind of operations in the past. So that was not my first time from perspective of organizing live webinar. But to be fair, that was the first time I was using this model, because the next question I get, what tool do you using to to organize the webinars in this format. So to be fair, I'm using two main tools to do that. First is ConvertKit. This is the mailing solution that could automate the process of sending the invitations, reminders, and elements of that, like also delivering the landing page to register for the webinar. From perspective of the webinar itself, I'm using StreamYard. This is the dedicated solution to organize the webinars and stream them live to the social platforms, not only YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, but also Twitch. And it's super simple, super efficient, and have three nice, cool features that helps to organize that kind of webinars more efficient way, and also have this functionality to stream your video, your solution to multiple platforms at the same time. So this is very, very useful. And the next question is, why not Teams? Why do you not use Teams to organize the webinars? Webinars could be organized by Teams. There is a landing page that you can generate, then you can gather the mails, you can send the automated reminders to the users using Microsoft Teams and stream the webinar itself. And to be fair, this is first solution. I was working on Microsoft Teams, the previous organization, to deliver the webinars, and it was fine. But, and this is also some discussion we had on our community group on Facebook, these are the solutions that works, but are not sometimes perfect to the goals or elements that you want to provide. I'm using the ConvertKit to mailing solution to gather the registration process, because this is also the platform that supports the trainings and support the weekly mailings that I'm sending. So it's easier to do that in the one dedicated solution that is focused on that area. And same with the StreamYard. This is the very simple application that is really great in webinars, not with everything, but in this area. But to be fair, in future, Microsoft Teams, there is on the roadmap of Microsoft 365 that Teams will provide streaming to YouTube and other platforms. But I'm sure that it will be not exactly that as simple as it is on StreamYard. So I recommend both platforms. I'm using subscriptions that are present there. Works perfectly well from my perspective. Next question I get from you: why do you present ads on your blog? This is fair question. Main reason behind it is that I monetize it to pay for the services like ConvertKit, StreamYard, and other elements. I use that money to do the investments around the blog to secure the possibility to deliver you the new content. My goal is to get rid of ads in some period of time. I'm working on that, but probably you will need to face them at least next 6 months. Hopefully shortened period of time, but for now it stay as it is. I have the plan to get rid of Google Ads from the blog and make your experience better from perspective of consuming the content which is present there. But to be fair, if I want to use the tools like StreamYard in the paid subscription, similar like ConvertKit or Thinkific for online courses, these are the elements that have to be paid. And I'm using ads to cover that. That was the last questions I get from you. I get a lot of recommendations about the possible topics for the next webinar. Teams calling, Microsoft Stream migration, elements of Power Platform. To be fair, from perspective of the Teams calling, this is the element that I don't have much experience. I don't have experience in PSTX and telephony around hardware, telephony around Microsoft Teams. So I will not have that experience to share with you. From perspective of Microsoft Stream, this is something I put on my roadmap. Probably I will get back to this topic when the migration process will be more clear. From perspective of Power Platform, this is something I will use for the next webinar. So shortly I will get to the topic that I'm planning to organize the next webinar. But again, if you have knowledge in these areas or something that you want to share, I'm more than happy to engage you and help you organize that kind of webinar. I will deliver all tools, knowledge. just write to me. I think we can figure out the way to deliver interesting knowledge through webinar format using Microsoft 365 at Work platform. And the next topic I would like to share with you on the next webinar that I'm planning for the beginning of the December will be using Power Automate Microsoft lists and Zapier to build the application that will help you to deliver social media scheduling tool. So to build the scheduler to publish the announcements, posts, news around LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and other platforms, and how to do that using own Office 365 tools like Microsoft Lists, Power Automate, OneDrive, and one additional tool, Zapier. So this is the plan for the December webinar. Soon I will, probably in the middle of November, I will share more information about the webinar, exact date and plan for the specific agenda. So again, I want to thank you for the great experience I have collaborating with you during the webinar. I hope in December we'll have chance to meet again and discuss about using the Microsoft List and Power Platform to build app that will be useful for your organization or maybe just for you. So thank you very much. See you in the next episode. Take care.